It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a beer from Arbor Ales. I really like Arbor Ales. I'm a big fan. Even though they turned me away at the brewery gates when I turned up unannounced to do a little brewery tour there. They were like, no, you can't come in. Their beers are fantastic though. I really like them. Everyday People Hazy Pale Ale. Arbor Brewing Company, 5% ABV, 440 milliliter can. Drink chill on the back here. I get it, but I'm not going to drink this super cold. I'm not going to drink this beer super cold. This beer's been out my fridge about 15-20 minutes. I store my beer cold. I drink it at around 8 to 10 degrees because I want to experience the flavours in the beer. This beer is available in Sainsbury supermarket. It was on a 4 for 3 deal. So you buy 3 cans, you get your 4th free. It was around £3 a can. And have I mentioned already, or if I haven't, I'll mention it again. This is 5% ABV. Little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. I've taken to using these sort of stumpy, bowl-shaped, tiny goldfish bowls, aren't they, of glasses. Whenever I drink a pale ale or an IPA, I seem to have naturally gravitated towards this style of glass. I used to like the Tiku. Are they called Tiku glasses? The stem glasses, I used to really like them for a pale ale and an IPA, but I've, for some reason, moved over to this style of glass. Maybe there's a reason for that, I don't know. Maybe you guys can comment in the comments box why I've naturally gravitated towards this style of glass. Who knows? It just feels good in the hand, I suppose. 2-finger white head, the head sticking around nicely. Good levels of slow moving carbonation, and we have some sediment. Look at this. I do get excited by sediment in my glass of beer. I've always loved bottle conditioned beer, always, absolutely always. Can conditioned, bottle conditioned beer. It used to be bottle conditioned, now a lot of these beers end up in cans these days, but they can still condition in a can. It looks good. Aroma. Wow, wow, wow. Stone the crows, wow. Juicy grapefruit. White wine. White grape aroma here. A real clinical, cutthroat sort of piney, sort of resinous, sort of sharp aroma to the beer. Lots of sort of peels and white grape aromas here. The aroma is fantastic. But very quickly, because I don't want to, what's the word? I don't want to confuse people. And what was I on about earlier with the conditioning? I'll be quick. A brewer might add a little bit of sediment to each bottle or can to their beer. It's all done by machinery these days. So some cans and bottles might have more than others. Depends on how they're filling. If they're at the bottom of the vessel filling, then there's going to be more sediment. If they're at the top, there's going to be less sediment. It's a bit like when you grab a carton of orange juice and you see the sediment in the bottom. If you are filling from that, you're going to get more sediment from the bottom, aren't you? So that's the case with this. So my point here is they add that little bit of sediment to the can or the bottle, and it just finishes off. That bottle conditioning just finishes off the beer. It just carbonates the beer a little bit more in the can, in the bottle, and it just I would say just slightly refines the beer a little bit more. I love it. Love it. It's brilliant because the yeast is alive and it's mopping up any extra sugars that are left in the beer. That's a bottle conditioned beer or a can conditioned beer. Right, let's dive into this then, and then cheers everybody. Oh, yeah, Stone the Crows. I like that. Stone the Crows, that is fantastic. It's just as clinical and clean as I was expecting it to be. There's some juicy, fleshy blood orange coming through. There's a little bit of orange peel. There's some grapefruit peel here. There's that white grape. There's some bitterness right now, as I'm speaking right now. There's a rolling, building bitterness in the back of the palate here. It's lovely. It's lovely, it really is. Let's see where we are with this. There's some beer left in the bottom. Yeah, look at that. Can you see that sediment? So maybe they pulled some of, maybe this is the bottom of, so they put the beer in great big fermenters and then they draw the beer off the fermenters to bottle and can their beer. So maybe they're at the bottom of the fermenter here, the liquid, and they're kind of, it's the reason. Look at the sediment here. I mean, I was talking about bits earlier. There's lumps and chunks in there. Can you see it? Wow. And it softens the beer. When you add that kind of sediment to the bottom of the glass, it sort of knocks out the carbonation a little bit. It makes everything a little bit more well-rounded. And sometimes adds a little bit more flavour too. Love that. Absolutely love that. It's so clean, so drinkable. Creamy, rich mouthfeel from the oats in the beer. Look at the head retention. I'm a big fan of this brewery. I'm a big fan of Arbor Ales. Whenever I see a beer from Arbor Ales, I know I can pick it up with confidence. I can pick it up with confidence, that knowing that the beer's going to be good. And I like that from a brewery because it's consistent. It's consistent. You know what you're going to get. I don't think I've ever had a bad beer from Arbor Ales. Don't think I've ever had a bad beer from them. Just lovely, well-rounded, easy drinking. What did we say? Was it 5%? I think it was, wasn't it? Just an easy drinking 5%. I could, if I went to a craft beer orientated pub, then I could quite easily jump on this and found my beer, the sun shining all afternoon, sit in the beer garden, pounding cans of this or 2/3 of this or pints of this. It's really good. Oh. Juicy and tropical, not overly sort of passion fruit and mango like, which I do like. I much prefer the sort of grapefruit, pithy, peely, white grape sort of flavours that come from pale ales and IPAs, rather than that passion fruit and mango. I don't like it. It tastes like yogurt to me. I just don't like those sort of passion fruit and mango beers. So this is great. This is great. I like that. I really like that. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.